What's going on, everybody? JT here, coming at you with another episode of Pokemon GO, and in today's video, we're gonna hatch as many of the new 7-kilometer eggs for the winter holiday event as we can. There's only 5 Pokemon in these eggs, them being Sneasel, Smoochum, Bergmite, Kerballer, and Amora. So we've got 3 Pokemon that can be shiny, 2 of them being boosted, and then 2 of them that cannot be shiny at all. But I thought it would be fun to see what we get, because I do want some hundos of these Pokemon, and there are some shiny boosted chances on both Sneasel and Smoochum, so let's see what happens. We've got 9 of them to start it off with. Let's see what egg number 1 gives us. We get a Kerballer. Egg number 2 gives us a Bergmite. Egg number 3 is a Sneasel. Number 4, another Bergmite. Number 5 will give us another Bergmite. 6 is going to be a Kerballer. Lucky number 7 is a Smoochum. Number 8 is another Bergmite. And the final egg is another Kerballer. And we're gonna check all the IVs on these guys, but that one's bad, not bad there. Pretty decent there. That one's okay. Yeah, nothing too crazy here with the rest of them. Actually, that's not bad. And then we've got this guy, and that's it. So no hundos in that batch at all, no Amoras at all, which was what I was hoping for. But a decent amount of Bergmites, which is very interesting, even though it is a full odd shiny. So it's a very low chance we're actually gonna get that shiny from these eggs, but nonetheless, not a bad batch. Let's move on to the next one. Batch number 2, we only have 8 of them this time, and we start with a Smoochum. Egg number 2 is another Smoochum. The 3rd egg gives us... Had to change out the battery, so I think this is number 4. Here's number 5. Ooh, Sneasel. Number 6 is gonna give us a Kerballer. 7, what are you? Another Kerballer. And here's our last egg. It is Amora. All right, so this is definitely one of the rarer ones for sure. And let's go through the IVs yet again, and hopefully we'll get a hundo of something, but it looks like we're getting a lot of nada here. Yeah, no hundos, though admittedly, that was pretty close. Now it's time for batch number 3. We got 8 more just because that 10-kilometer really was round for a while. But number 1 is a Berg. Number 2 gives us a Klob, or, well, Kerballer, whatever. Number 3 is a Smooch. Halfway with number 4 is a Sneasel. I really like getting XLs for those, that's why I'm trying to do this. Let's see what number 5 gives us, though. Another Kerballer. 6 will give us a Smooch. 7 gives us another Smooch. And the 8th egg is a Berg that isn't shiny. Oh well. And now it's time for batch number 4. But before we get into this one, I did forget to do the IV checking for the last batch. None of them were good, so don't even worry about it. Let's just dive into these ones and see what we get. Egg number 1 will be a Kerballer. Number 2 is a Berg. The 3rd egg is another Crab. 4th egg is another Crab. Number 5, please be something sparkly or a Crab. All right, cool. Number 6 is gonna be a Berg. For 7, another Crab. Man, there's just nothing but Crabs and Bergs in here. The 8th egg is an Amora. Okay, something different. And the last one will be a Sneasel. All right, well, that was an interesting batch. And let's not forget this time. Let's actually do it. This one's pretty bad. Not so great. Nothing. Yeah, looks like we're gonna get a whole bunch of Garbo yet again. It is what it is. Yeah, that's everything. Man, that was not a good batch. And here's our next batch of 9. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm hoping to get at least a shiny or some more Sneasels, but it looks like we get another Bergmite. Wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't a full odds. Number 2, also the thing that can't be shiny. Number 3 is another Berg. 4th egg, there we go, something that can be shiny. Number 5 is another Sneasel, okay. Again, I want those XLs too. This one is another Sneasel. Okay, Sneasels are picking up, I'm down with that. Will this one also be a Sneasel? No, but that also can be shiny. This one will be a Berg. I'm not gonna lie, I lost count, but this one is also a Sneasel. Okay, that was actually a way better batch than usual, I'm down. And we're just gonna swipe through them real quickly, but it doesn't look like any of these are all that notable. Yeah, nothing that crazy. And now for our next batch of 9 eggs. Let's see if this one's better to us. We are entering, I believe, the 50s with these. So number 1 is a Sneasel. Could have been shiny. Number 2 will give us a Smoochum. 3 will be a Crab. Number 4, another Sneasel. Okay, so these are picking up a little bit. How about number 5? There's the Berg. 6 will be another Sneeze. Number 7 is another Crab. The 8th egg will give us another Berg. And here's the last one, another Smoochum. No shinies, but decent stuff in this one. And what do we got? That's not half bad, actually. That was pretty decent, but the rest of them all seem to be pretty disappointing IV-wise, but at least one gave me a size record, so I guess that's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now on our final 8 eggs, and I hate to say it, but they decided to hatch without me getting to see them. But you don't know what I hatched yet, so I'll show it to you. First off, we got an Amora. Let's go at these IVs real quick. It's okay. We're gonna keep swiping. We got a Smoochum. We got a shiny Smoochum, which is great. I really wish I hatched that in front of you guys, because that would have been fantastic, but whatever. We keep going. We got another Amora. We got a Bergmite. We got ourselves a Kerballer. We got an Amora, and we got a Smoochum, and that is everything. So a lot of Amoras, which is really uncommon. But again, we did get a shiny, which I guess is pretty awesome, though I do wish I got that in front of you guys. I love seeing the shiny explosion of sparkles, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. And now we're back at the apartment, and I have a lovely little Publix receipt here that has all the information about our hatches, so let's dive into that information. For starters, we hatched 60 Pokemon in total, which is very surprising because I thought we were in like lower to mid 50s, so we made it to an even 60, which is kind of cool. And this is the number of hatches for each of the Pokemon. For Sneasel, we hatched 11 of them. For Smoochum, we hatched 12 of them. For Bergmite, we hatched 16 of those. Amora, surprisingly, we only hatched 5 of those. And lastly, for Crabrawler, we hatched another 16. So yeah, 60 in total. And it is a tad surprising that Bergmite and Crabrawler had the highest hatch rate out of all of them. And Amora was incredibly rare out of all of them, which is really surprising to me because it's not shiny eligible at all. And even though it is still technically a newer Pokemon, I really thought we would get more of those. And if we look in the game real quick, you can see I have a 7-kilometer egg here. This is the last one I'm gonna grab of all of them. But if we scroll down real quick, you'll see that there's all of them there, but they're all on the same hatch tier. So it's not quite true. It should show that Amora is gonna be hardest to hatch out of all of these. And admittedly, this is only my perspective, but I know a lot of people have been hatching these as well and been getting pretty similar results as me. Though who knows, maybe the percentages are just so slightly off where it is considered to be in the same hatchable tier rate, even though some of them are, you know, more common than the other ones. But I think it would be a bit more honest to show that it looks like Bergmite and Crabrawler will be the easiest, followed by Sneasel and Smoochum, and then at the very bottom we would have Amora in the like hardest to hatch tier. But maybe that's just too much to add, so they decided to all throw it in the same one. Now that I think about it, this isn't the first time something like this with the eggs has happened before, because during the Sinnoh celebration event, we had Mime Jr. and a few other Gen 4 babies all in the 7-kilometer eggs, and it was definitely heavily leaning towards things like Happiny and stuff like that. But Mime Jr. and Riolu both had a lower hatch rate comparatively, even though they were all on the same tier in the egg list. So this isn't the first time this has ever happened. And in the future, I think it would be smarter of Niantic to actually show what it's actually going to be like, because a lot of people are going to start hatching these eggs and realizing this stuff, and with that, they're going to feel slightly cheated because they feel like it's all going to be the same odd, even though that is not the case. But that's just my opinion. Some of you may be curious as to why I was even hatching these eggs in the first place, seeing that there really wasn't a shiny boost on the new shiny, and then everything else was already things we already had. The big reason is I really wanted to get Sneasel XLs, and I thought this might be a decent way, and in the end of the day, we did end up getting a few more than I thought we would, and we did end up getting a shiny Smoochum, which is pretty awesome, though sadly this is probably one of the worst IVs you can get on a shiny Smoochum, but I just wanted to go for more shinies and XLs, and I really wanted a Hundo Amora, but after seeing the egg hatches and seeing that we only got 5 out of 60 of them, I think I'm just going to avoid the eggs from now on, because it's just not the best way to get ourselves a Hundo Amora. But I'd love to know if you guys are hatching these eggs at all and what your results have been. Have you hatched a lot of shinies? Have you been getting nothing but crabs and Bergmites? I would love to know in the comments down below. And if you found this video enjoyable, and I really hope you have, please consider subscribing to the channel. We just hit 90,000 subscribers, which is huge, and I cannot believe we actually made it to that milestone. Thank you to everybody who's been following me during this time, whether you're newer or older. I just really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you very much. And if you're really enjoying the content and you want to see even more of it, I highly suggest you check out this video right here. But with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one.